hello.
Hello, everyone.
We are One Hen, Two Ducks, a grown-up theater kids podcast.
Yes.
I'm Megan.
And I'm Selena.
And today we're watching The Prom.
Yes. Oh, and we have a special guest here, too.
Our producer, Kristen.
Yes.
Hi, guys.
You might have remembered her from last episode. If you don't, go listen to the last episode.
Yes. Please do.
We are all wearing our prom dresses. Not necessarily the prom dresses we went to prom in, but prom dresses.
Yeah, because if you saw the commercial, people, I'm not doing that again. That was for you, for a special moment, but I'm not getting in that thing again. That was a one-time thing.
I'm just happy wearing a tiara.
I know. I feel like we all look like. I feel like we all actually look like pageant.
I mean, let's be real though. You guys actually have real tiaras, and Selena has her 3-year-old's dress-up tiara.
But it is the biggest and has the most bling on it. So
I mean,
truly, if we were all royalty, you would be the queen.
But we are talking about The Prom.
The Prom on Netflix.
Yes, on Netflix specifically.
The show that was on Broadway that they turned into a Netflix musical and didn't cast a single Broadway person.
Of course
Yay!
not. Film industry, everybody. The film industry. Yes.
Should we start? Should we get this going?
Yeah, let's get this started.
I'm excited.
I'm very excited. Okay, so
All right,
also,
ready,
guys, whoever's seen The Prom, or if you are watching our reviews, you want to add your 2 cents, 3 cents, whatever cents you have in your pockets, go ahead and do that in our comments. We love responding and just seeing where the discussion can go. So let us know also what you've been thinking or thought of The Prom.
Yeah, because I've never seen it.
Yes.
I waited to watch it for this moment, so I haven't
Same.
watched it yet.
Whew.
So let's have some chats, people.
Yeah,
Spill
let's
some tea.
have some
do this.
chats, for sure.
Let's talk about it. And 3, 2, 1, play. This is ridiculous, and I love it.
I love it because Meryl is doing this out of passion. Because she doesn't have to do something like this. She can get any role she wants to.
She don't need the money, honey. She's like, let's do it. Oh, how fun. Wait, isn't that... Selena, wasn't that just the
I
Ratatouille
think,
man?
yeah, it looks like him, but
That's him.
it is him. Wait,
Kevin
no,
Chamberlain.
it is
That was
Kevin
Kevin Chamberlain.
Our shows are colliding and I love it.
I feel like all this was very tight, so I can't quite look at all the choreography.
And I don't know. I think I've been spoiled by Andy Blankenbuehler because, Andy's choreography was very purposeful, while that was just dancing.
I do appreciate that a Broadway star is in this, an actual one.
Yes.
True, there's another one, guys. Let's play Count the Broadway Stars.
Let's play Count the Broadway Stars too.
So there's one. There's 2 so far.
It's so interesting seeing these two, like Meryl and
James Corden.
yes, because they're so different in aesthetic and technique. So putting them together is quite interesting.
Yeah, she's very subtle and he's very
Yes,
expressive.
He's very expressive. Oh, high school. I'm glad we went to a cool. Like a fun, I guess, high school.
I know. I'm glad we went to a cool high school too. I would not have been able to stand something like this.
Yes, I'm glad that
Like
we didn't
weird
have
power.
cheerleaders. I mean, we had dance majors, but
Yeah, but they weren't mean.
they weren't like
They weren't
cheerleaders.
They weren't like mean to be mean. That's why it's like I always watch these shows now that are like about high school, and I'm like, how fascinating, because my experience
My
was
high
not
school
like
is
this at all.
completely different than this. I don't know this experience.
Yeah, like if anything, like my middle school experience was like that, and I knew that if I didn't go to a performing arts high school, that my high school experience would be like that, and I was like, I got to do everything I can to get it.
That's true. That's true. I
Was
mean, my middle school was decent, but I'm glad that I found my people and I was able to get into a school where I could completely be myself and not have to change myself to fit in.
Yeah.
I just want to teach her that, like my daughter, that you have to be confident in yourself. And number one, these are kids telling you stuff. Are you going to believe kids? I just want
It's
her
so
to
hard
just
to
be confident in who she is and know that that life changes. Cool kids are not cool in 5 years, in 10 years. Like things change. Like I know high school seems like it's the end all be all, but it's not.
Yeah. It really is just, and it sounds so silly, it really is just like you're brand new to the world.
Yes,
You are. And
you
your
are.
body's changing in the first like 10, 15 years of your life. You know what I mean? Of your actual life. And so like you're going through all these things that feel monumental. And I remember having thoughts in high school of being like, if this doesn't happen, then my life
Yes.
means nothing.
My life is over. I remember I used to
Like-
say, I act or die. I act or die.
Yeah.
That's it.
We're older now, and I can safely say nothing that happened in the last, like in my early 20s and teens, all that was way over dramatic.
You know, it was a great experience, but it seems trivial compared to the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So all those who are listening to us in high school, it gets better. And it
does.
There's more to
So
life than just
much.
high school. You're going to get through it, and you get to be yourself.
All right, so back to the prom real quick.
Yes.
Is anybody else thrown off by that? We never saw her ask someone to prom. We never saw the fallout of them telling her, no, you can't do that. I don't know if there's like a backlash where we're going to see all that, but I just feel like we skipped ahead like several days or several weeks. And
Yeah, I think
I don't
the
know
whole
about that
ask and
one.
everything from at least what they were reading already happened, and now it's the aftermath. So I guess we don't get to see that. How they
This
hired
school-
lighting people so
I was
quickly.
gonna say, I was like, this school gym is equipped.
I'm like they. Now, for people who make productions, this is not something that can just happen without them knowing.
You can't have colored track lighting all like
I
under.
mean,
Look
when
at
did they have
this.
time to do all this?
Just installed it real quick. I mean, I know Broadway people are incredible, but like we still need some time.
There's needed to be some time. So far, what I also don't necessarily approve of, especially in an artist and a theater kind of thing, is there's a lot of extremes and generalities.
Yeah,
Like why? I mean, yes, they're acting bigoted and they're acting prejudiced, but there's more than just you are prejudiced, you are bigoted, or you are like there's just a lot of extremes and general things instead of like what people are actually thinking and how we can have a conversation with them instead of just accusations.
so that's why I wish we had seen why they told her no and when they told her no and how they did it.
Yeah, I bet Kerry Washington was really freaking out. Meryl Streep is touching me.
I would.
I would be.
I'd be keeping my cool, but inside I
Yep. I would, like you said on the auditions one, for a moment I would step out of my actor moment and be like, oh my God.
They're like, look at you. Look at this. That's me stepping outside my actor self. looking
Yes,
at
like,
myself,
okay. I just want to appreciate the fact that Meryl Streep is right now in my face. Okay, going back into character. Swallow the Moon. That sounds like a
Swallow the
terrible show.
It's either the best show or the worst show. You know what I
Right?
mean?
Swallow the Moon.
Kevin Chamberlain.
I know. I'm
just
sorry,
gonna say it every
people.
time
You
you
gotta
hear
watch the
Kevin
Ratatouille
Chamberlain.
musical and then watch our reactions because we
He's
love
just-
Kevin Chamberlain. He's just the best.
This is a sweet song.
It is a sweet song.
I think I like this song better than any song I've heard so far. Just because it sounds. This.
Just normal
I'm gonna leave it
instead
there.
of performy.
Just gonna, yes. You know what? On your generalities kind of note, there's a little bit of generalities about theater people.
Yes.
I get that some of us like we are a little dramatic and we are a little this and that, but like and like I can understand that maybe the show's written a little bit that way because it is musical comedy.
Right.
But I think transferring the bigness of theater to the screen, I think it needed to be toned down just a hair.
Just a tad. Just a hair, yeah.
Just a tad. So many colors. Oh, I like that. Did you see that?
Yes.
Where all the like once she left, all the
yes,
colors left.
All the colors left because she was the
that
one
was
that bring color to her life.
Oh, I
Literally
liked
and lightly.
That made
good
that
one.
that made the most sense to me out of anything else.
Yes. Artistically intentional is what I saw because so far there hasn't been much of that yet. Maybe a little bit when they took Eleanor's name out when it went dark. That was maybe artistically intentional, but that was the next moment.
No, you would never be just carrying around your Tonys.
No, you wouldn't. I don't know, but like you said,
No,
I
it's
don't
a
know why
drama.
these actors
It's
are carrying around their awards
It's a
like
drama
that.
desk.
I mean, I guess it's going with their narcissistic thing, but that's quite a lot.
Kevin Chamberlain.
That's gonna be Megan's thing the whole time.
That's just gonna be my thing. Every time
Kevin
every
Chamberlain.
scene he appears in, I'm just gonna point it out.
How he presents himself, he screams theater. Now, see, he screams theater without screaming theater.
Kevin Chamberlain?
Yes. Because you can tell by the way he stands, by the way he speaks. He's theater.
Yes.
From head to toe.
See, he has made a career out of singing ridiculous songs
And because
in a
he's so
very
serious about it, look at his
serious
face.
way. He just crushes it all the time. Cracks me up.
Oh, Lord. Oh, God, this is terrible. This is like Dreamgirls' We Are a Family song. I hated that song. Because it's so cheesy.
See, I still feel like we're skipping around so much. What happened to make the prom come back? And
Oh, like when he's like, "It's nice to see Emma smiling," and I'm like, "Hasn't she been smiling the whole
Yeah,
time?"
she's, yeah.
She just has that one of those happy faces.
I'm calling it that
Come
from now
on.
on, by the way.
We know what Applebee's are in New York. We have
No,
one.
but I'm
We
still
used
gonna
or
call
we
it
used to have
Apples
one in
and
Times
Bees.
Square.
Let's
Jake,
go to
we'll do
Apples and
Apples
Bees. But didn't they already ask for prom dates? I guess they're doing it
Yeah,
again.
but we need a musical number for prom dates.
I guess. Does the offer
Somehow
still
I
stand?
think a musical theater promposal would not be first on the jocks list of things to do.
Definitely not. Why couldn't we have normal people? Why does it always have to be the jocks and cheerleaders? Why? What about all these other people? Again, a generality. Why are we only focusing on the jocks and the cheerleaders of high school? Are there no other high schoolers in high school?
Yeah, where are the
We're the normal kids.
where are the
They're
chemistry
making them be the
kids
backup
and
dancers.
stuff? Where's the chess club?
Like, come on. I know this is high school, but come on. We already had the jock song. We don't need two.
Wait, is she wearing the same? Is she wearing the same jumpsuit she was just wearing in the other scene?
It kind
Isn't
of
this a
looks
different
like
day?
it. It is a different day.
Yeah,
and
it
she
That's
is.
definitely it.
I thought
Yeah.
that was nighttime because
It
they
was
go to dinner
nighttime.
and stuff?
That was an error.
Oh,
Yes,
Or
that
does
was.
she work
Continuity.
somewhere where she has to wear that? I felt like that was a work uniform.
I don't
Oh.
know.
Now it's nighttime again at Applebee's. I thought they went to Applebee's already.
I'm confused.
Now this is weird continuity. You're right, because it was clearly daytime and it was nighttime before, and now it's nighttime
Yeah.
again. But then the nighttime before, I'm very confused.
Listen, for a place that only has a Kmart in town, Kerry Washington looks great.
She does.
She must buy
I
her
wish she
clothes
would change
online.
her hair though.
Okay, Keegan. I didn't know he could sing. Oh, I miss being in the theater.
I know.
This song's making me sad.
I know, right?
It is pretty
Show.
sad.
Look at all those people all sitting together.
No masks.
No masks.
This was the good old days, guys. The good old
Oh.
days.
Jills. Jills. Oh, God, this song is killing me.
This is the best song so far
This
for
is
me.
breaking my heart. Because you think about, like, this song was written years ago when none of this happened.
Yeah, no, they didn't know. They didn't know when they wrote this.
They
This,
could
this is just
say.
a theater lover who wrote this song.
I'm just looking at this happy audience. It's transfixed. And
This is just a personal pet peeve of mine with storytelling. They could have showed that.
They
Show
coulda
not
showed
tell. Show not tell.
They
It's a
could have
pet-
showed it, but
they-
also, like, you have to also remember it's a stage show that was brought to the film.
True.
So they're probably using a lot of the same script. But that scene alone, it just wasn't emotional enough.
No, exactly. And that was a poignant part of her story that now we're like, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Her mom gave her up when Emma came out.
Who
They just
cares?
weren't
She's just a
prepared.
lesbian who wants to go to the prom. We don't care about her actual story and who she really is. What? We just care that she's just a lesbian. Nothing else. Like, what?
Oh, it's his prom.
Yeah, she's quite one note. Like, if the grandmother didn't say that, we would have never knew that dark part of her.
It's, I think, overall, and I know that it didn't get best reviews, but I think ultimately what it is like, it's musical comedy. Yes, it's supposed to be light and fluffy and airy, but there should be some kind of heart to it that grounds
Well, I mean, they have. This is the thing that's bothering me though, because they do have deep moments, but they're not allowing themselves to even
to go deep
enough. They're just sitting there on the surface, and as if comedy never has comedy always has tragedy.
Yeah.
And it can still be funny, but it can still have depth.
And if you have that, if you only have like 4 lines to get out about like someone's backstory that's super intense, at least make it a good moment.
Make
Not
it a
just
moment.
Like, what happened with
yes.
her? This thing happened to her. It sucked. That's terrible. To bad parents. Like,
and I don't see it all in her either. It's like all she cares about is her girlfriend and her prom. Like, I don't see anything about her other than she's gay. Like, that's the only thing I know about her. I'm like, well, who are you beside that?
Yeah, they're not letting these moments breathe. They're just
No.
like, oh, like line. Like, I get that it's a fast show, but if we hadn't heard that she got kicked out, we would have missed it entirely.
Right.
It was one line.
And I don't see how this is affecting her. Because this whole time she's just been kind of like, yeah, that's okay. Oh, prom was canceled. Oh, now it's back on. Like, there's no, like, how does this make you feel? Like, I don't know. And, like, the fact that her girlfriend doesn't want to be seen with her. I don't see any of this turmoil. I just see one note.
Beginning, like, that first song we saw her in, like, when, like, the kids were being mean, she's still just kind of, like, smiling through it, even, like, as they're throwing dodgeballs at her. Like, I'm not seeing this internal pain.
Yeah, I'm not seeing an internal struggle. And I get that you can maybe smile through something, but I still want to see a moment of humanity in there.
just like
Personally.
the entire school's prom got canceled because
of
wanted to
you.
go to
And
prom.
all you do is, oh, I wish I wasn't in Indiana. Like, come on. I don't know.
Yeah.
Our prom was not like this, and we went to a performing arts high school. I'm sorrowfully disappointed.
Okay, see, now this is the choreography I'm here for because I can actually see it. It's beautiful.
Because they're not putting the camera in only the stars' faces. It is still Disney-y.
Oh,
I still very feel Disney-y.
I love it.
That's what it is.
Oh.
It's High School Musical.
I was gonna say, you keep saying Descent. I know you said Descendants, and I was like, that's a horror movie, isn't it? The Descent.
No, it's a bunch of teenage. It's Disney. It's just a bunch of Disney kids dancing like this.
But they're, like, villain Disney
But they're
kids.
villains, but they're still Disney kids dancing.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now. Oh, they didn't. Oh no. Oh, they moved the prom and didn't tell her where it was. Oh no, the prom's over? What's going on?
Nope, you had it right.
Do you remember the year Hairspray came out on Broadway? That would have been 2003 maybe. We were in high school and they had just won the Tony, like the Tonys had just happened, so it was like their first year on Broadway. But they had like a lyric in Hairspray that said something about prom, and I can't remember now, but it's one of the black characters singing something about we don't want our own prom, like don't exclude us from prom, like because. And what was crazy about that was the year that story came out about that school that had 2 proms, the black prom and the white prom. Do you remember that when we were in school?
Yeah.
And I just remember, and like everyone was like, that is terrible. And I remember like people coming out and defending it like, well, it's not that bad. Like there's just 2 different. No, they're all children. Like,
Yes.
stop it. Stop being dumb.
It's crazy how people will just hold on to their way, their I guess how they were raised so strongly. And I always try to see the other side, because again, I hate generalities, so I'm trying to see the other side of that. And I get that when you ask people to go outside of what they're used to, it's literally stripping them of a safety blanket. You know, you're stripping them of everything they know of what they hold tight, and that can be scary to them. I understand that. But there needs to be a way for the conversation to happen where it's not a stripping of security or anything. It's a welcoming to the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I am on I'm on the train
What train?
Which one?
of less auto-tune is better.
Yes. And now they're showing. See, why couldn't we have this with the main character?
I know.
This is the good thing about film is that you can do flashbacks.
Yes!
You can't do them in
They
theater.
clearly did it for her.
Take advantage of these moments.
We couldn't even have a moment where Emma watches her mom walk away. Like, can we even have a moment? Like, we didn't even.
Or even just
Jeez.
it's the grandma with the baby, just like
Yes, something. And it's crazy that they gave it to her, that character, but they didn't give it to the main.
oh, I didn't realize he was the principal. Did
Girl,
you guys know he was the principal?
You didn't know that?
No, I thought he was her
Right.
lawyer.
No,
No, he's the principal.
he's the principal.
Oh, what? How does that make any
He
sense?
said that like scene 1.
She's the head of the PTA and she cancels prom and he can't do anything.
They
know.
hid it apparently from him.
Like, we're getting more of a backstory on the girlfriend than we are the main character.
I mean, we got more on every character except for the main character. We got 2 lines on the main character's background. I just don't understand. They had all these backflashes for everybody else.
Oh, this is
I
cute.
know.
Dancing with your little self at prom.
Really
Also, that but
cute.
he looked real young to be going to senior prom. Anyone else think that? Like, he looks like he's
No.
14. There's no way he's 16, 17, 18. Come on.
There's no way. Now he's clearly a senior. Now it just looks like a little boy is asking a senior to prom.
Maybe that's why he had trouble finding a prom date.
That's
because he was
probably
very
what it
young.
was. Okay, as a YouTuber, I want to say, I wish I can get millions of views and just show up.
However,
No
good
presence
song.
at all. By the way, like and subscribe
Ta-da.
so you can support us like they're supporting Emma.
We love your unruly hearts, so give us some.
I just don't understand how we're not getting any of that with the main character.
I have no comment on that scene. It was great, but her wig was so bad.
Oh, it
pulled
was
me out of
yeah,
it.
it was
Pulled
pretty
me
bad.
right on out of it. Kevin Chapman.
Okay, Kristen, you're a mom with a kid in school. Does the PTA really have this much power?
No.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't understand how the PTA has all this power. Because
They
the
have a
PTA,
lot of power, but not this.
she's wearing her heart on her sleeve, literally.
We're getting,
Guys.
We're getting some,
Look at a drama program.
how I like
It's
you know what, this
true.
is great. I will
The
say
lack of
this,
the drama program is very true. I agree with that statement, 100%.
Yeah. I will say it's nice to see the like popular kids not just like get what they deserve in the end, but like change and grow as well, just like the other characters do. So I feel like so often we have tropes of popular characters that they're evil and they're so bad, and then by the end of the movie, they get what they deserve.
Yeah, you know what
And-
I like? I like when there are some that change and then there are some that not, because that's realism right there.
That was some realness she just dropped on her mom, though. She's like, it's already hard, Mom.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, she's
It's getting hard. You can't protect me from everything.
well. That's why it was confusing. And again, you said this character was a white character before, because that wouldn't come. I don't want you to have a hard life. For a black woman to say that is just kind of awkward. It's already hard for her.
That's true.
That's why I'm like, why would she say? I don't want you to have a hard life. What is she talking about? Maybe a
If this
harder
were-
life would have been a better word.
Yeah. If this were more BIPOC inclusive, how would you recast the leads?
I don't know, because I honestly, I get that we're all trying to be on the diversity role, but I think it's going to come down to the actor again to me, because although I do want inclusivity, I don't want to just do it. Because I think that would that's going to do exactly what we're already complaining about, because people are like, oh, I want to cast a blonde or this, and not really looking at the actor, and so it's going to do the same thing. I just want a black character here, instead of looking at, can we just have a good actor here? I might have had Carrie as Nicole's character, because that would have been cool too to see, because Nicole wants to be, Roxy. So if it was Carrie Washington playing that, because that would have been even more cool. And then Nicole would have been a better mother. I would have switched those two for sure.
Mom's wearing Joseph's amazing Technicolor dream coat.
She's getting into the spirit.
She's ready for musical theater. This is I'm accepting my daughter's a lesbian dress.
Well, she doesn't really accept it yet, but she's getting there.
Okay.
Yes, which I was appreciative of, because that's a lot to just turn around in a character like, okay.
Yeah,
True.
from like
Not,
2 hours
not one of the
ago.
popular choices.
Exactly. It's like she needs some time. But I love that she's like, but I love you no matter what, and then we'll work on everything else, because
That's more real.
Yes.
that's more real. Yes. So, what did you guys think?
I I thought it was cute. I wouldn't like I feel like there are some reviews that are really dragging them, and I wouldn't go that far. Cuz they did have some really lovely moments and it was a lot of fun and entertaining. It just the places that they had good depth, it wasn't consistent. Like they didn't have good depth everywhere else. And I think the overarching thing that I think we all feel is we just wish we saw a little bit more from the main character and her feelings about what was going on. Like, yeah, you have the classic moment where she explodes her feelings, like everyone's trying to tell her what to do and so then she explodes, but there's not always a moment of her kind of really reacting to what's going on around her. It's always just her like, okay, like let's move on to the next thing.
What do you think, Kristen?
Gristed?
All right, so I came into this a little blind. I've not seen this movie. I've not seen this show. I've not heard any of the songs. So this was all very fresh to me. Um, the, when I was researching it and I was reading some of the reviews before I actually saw it, I kind of braced myself for it to not be that good because the reviews were awful. I was reading some to you guys before we got on, and they weren't pretty. So it was better than I thought it was going to be, which is definitely good. I loved the choreography. I really liked the songs. I thought it was fun. It moved well. Um, the only thing that, I should the only thing, my big issue with it was that I felt that like we didn't get the story in sequence when it happened. So we never saw her ask her girlfriend to prom. We never saw the fallout of the prom being canceled. We got glimpses of the kids being angry, but we didn't see how much that really affected her. So without that setup in the beginning of how this all came to be, I like as an audience member, it's like, well, why should I care? I feel like she doesn't, like she's still just sitting there smiling and laughing through it all.
But no, like you guys are nice, because I actually didn't like it quite at all. Um, it's there was a mini, and I am now, to be fair. Sorry guys, but I am a very picky person just in general of what I like. They know this about me. But there was a couple of issues. I mean, there's a lot of issues, but I guess the biggest one for me is that it seemed like whether it's the stage writer probably, or even the adapter, it seems like this is like the second draft. It seems like they wrote it and they might have looked over it a second time. They're like, this is good, just do it. Because of the fact that there's no depth, barely a little bit. There's like hints of depth, but I guess just for depth's sake, instead of being the story, they just put it in there like, oh, we just have to, like you said, we have to get to know these characters, so we're just gonna put something there, instead of starting there and then building the characters around that. They took the character and they just literally labeled them, and then from that labeling, they did everything around. You're the lesbian. Label. All right, be a lesbian. Label. Instead of like who this person is. She's more than just a lesbian. Or you're a star. Label. Be a star. Label. And then that's it. Like, and I thought that was across the board. You're a chorus girl. And then just be the chorus girl. It was titles. Everyone was acting in titles. And that kind of drove me a little nuts.
Well,
Yeah,
good thing that's over.
so the ending is that we've got 2 yays, 1 nay on the prom. Let us know what you guys think, whether you are a yay and the reasons why, or whether you are in my camp and a nay and the reasons why. It would be a great and interesting discussion. Yes.
yes.
And who would you cast?
It's a very good question. Who would you cast?
Who would you cast?
Stick around. Next week's episode is the first in our Art Unmasked series.
Yes.
We will be interviewing some Broadway and regional theater stars.
Yes.
So please keep an eye out for that.
Very exciting.
We hope you like our prom dresses. Send us some photos of you at prom.
Oh, yes, that would
We'd
be
love
so
to see
cute.
them.
Yes.
We'd love to see them.
Please do.
But have a great
Yes.
night.
Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.